The gladiators of ancient Rome are iconic figures known for their brutal combat and thrilling spectacles. While the image of the male gladiator dominates popular imagination, the existence and role of female gladiators, or gladiatrices, is equally fascinating, though less well documented and explored. This extensive account delves into the world of these female warriors, shedding light on their origins, societal roles, cultural significance, and eventual decline. Early beginnings. The phenomenon of gladiatorial combat has its roots in early Etruscan funerary practices, where warriors fought to honor the dead. This tradition evolved significantly by the time it reached Rome, becoming a form of mass entertainment by the late Republic and throughout the imperial period. The first recorded instance of female participation in gladiatorial combat dates back to the early Empire, around the 1st century AD, although their presence was much rarer compared to their male counterparts. Evidence and historical records. Historical evidence of gladiatrices is sparse, often gleaned from archaeological findings, inscriptions, and references in literature. One of the earliest references comes from the writings of Tacitus, who mentioned female gladiators participating in the games organized by Emperor Nero. Inscriptions and reliefs, such as those from Halicarnassus, further corroborate the existence of these women fighters. Legal and social status. Female gladiators were often slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, much like their male counterparts. However, there were also free women who chose the gladiatorial life for various reasons, including the allure of fame and fortune. The social status of gladiatrices was complex. While they were seen as entertainers and warriors, their involvement in the arena also carried a stigma, as it defied traditional Roman gender roles and expectations. The Ludus training schools. Gladiatrices, like male gladiators, were trained in special schools called ludi. These training grounds were overseen by a lanista, a manager and trainer of gladiators. The training was rigorous and focused on developing combat skills, physical endurance, and discipline. Training schools provided an environment where both male and female gladiators could hone their skills, though it is likely that female gladiators were trained separately due to societal norms and practical considerations. Types of gladiatrices. Female gladiators could assume various roles within the arena, mirroring the different types of male gladiators. These roles included murmillo, typically equipped with a helmet, sword, and large shield; retiarius, armed with a net and trident, relying on agility and speed; thriex, characterized by a curved sword and small shield. The specific role of a gladiatrix would depend on her physical attributes and skills, as well as the preferences of the lanista and the expectations of the audience. Daily life and conditions. The daily life of a gladiatrix was harsh and disciplined. Training sessions were grueling and injuries were common. Despite the hardships, successful gladiatrices could achieve a degree of fame and even wealth, receiving gifts and money from admirers. However, their lives were constantly at risk, as death in the arena was a real and present danger. The existence of female gladiators was both a source of fascination and controversy in Roman society. Their participation in combat challenged traditional gender norms, evoking a mix of admiration and disapproval. On one hand, gladiatrices were celebrated for their bravery and skill. On the other hand, their involvement in the arena was seen as a transgression of the expected roles and behaviors for women. Female gladiators were depicted in various forms of art, including mosaics, frescoes, and reliefs. These depictions often highlighted their combat prowess and exotic appeal. Literature, too, offers glimpses into their lives, though often colored by the biases and sensationalism of the authors. Juvenal, for instance, mentioned female gladiators in his satires, often with a critical tone that reflected societal prejudices. Gladiatrices symbolized a subversion of traditional gender roles, embodying both the allure and the danger of stepping outside societal norms. Their presence in the arena served as a spectacle that captivated audiences, reflecting broader themes of power, violence, and entertainment in Roman culture. The games, or munera, where gladiators fought, were elaborate events held in large amphitheatres such as the Colosseum. These events were meticulously organized and featured various types of combats, including those between gladiators, fights with wild animals, and staged naval battles. Female gladiators were often featured as a special attraction, adding an element of novelty and excitement to the games. The combat styles of gladiatrices were influenced by their training and the type of gladiator they portrayed. They engaged in duels that were both strategic and physically demanding, utilizing a range of weapons and armor. The fights were often choreographed to some extent, ensuring maximum entertainment value while still maintaining the risk and unpredictability that thrilled audiences. While records of individual gladiatrices are limited, some names have survived through inscriptions and historical accounts. For instance, an inscription from Ostia mentions a female gladiator named Aquila, who fought and won several matches. Another notable gladiatrix, Amazona, is depicted in a relief from Halicarnassus, highlighting her role as a formidable warrior. The participation of women in gladiatorial combat faced increasing restrictions over time. Emperor Septimius Severus, in AD 200, issued a decree banning female gladiators from the arena. This legislation reflected broader societal concerns about the morality and appropriateness of women participating in such violent spectacles. The decline of the Roman Empire and the rise of Christianity contributed to the eventual abolition of gladiatorial games. By the late 4th and early 5th centuries, these events had largely ceased, marking the end of an era. The legacy of gladiatrices, however, persisted in historical accounts and artistic representations, continuing to captivate imaginations for centuries to come. The story of the Gladiatrix is a compelling chapter in the history of ancient Rome, offering a unique perspective on gender, power, and entertainment in the ancient world. These female warriors, though fewer in number and often overshadowed by their male counterparts, played a significant role in the cultural and social landscape of their time. Through their courage and skill, they challenged societal norms and left an indelible mark on the history of gladiatorial combat.